What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Aces High podcast. We're your hosts, Mariah and Ty. Ty, happy Monday. How you doing?
Happy Monday to you. I'm doing good. It's been a good, productive Monday. So I'm all right. How you feeling tonight?
Okay. Hanging in,
All
hanging
right.
in. The
Good.
usual.
The usual.
Chat. Happy Monday. What's up? Hope everybody's doing great. Throwback Dawn. Appreciate you both as always.
Oh yeah.
Hope everybody's had a great weekend. Hope you guys had a great Monday so far. The week is rolling in the right direction. Um, a short week for a lot of people, Thanksgiving week. A busy week for me. I got my daughter's wedding this week, this
Woo-hoo.
weekend. Well, first my anniversary, mine and my wife's
That's
8-year
right.
anniversary. Um, and then then my daughter is getting married the day after our anniversary. And then my birthday is a few days after that. So it's just a
Oh
crazy
snap.
time for
It's
us
going
right now.
down.
Yeah, busy. So we got family coming. My mom's coming from Utah for the wedding, and my wife's mom and grandma are coming from California. So it's a crazy time right now. So yeah, I'm sure everybody, those that celebrates, those that are having Thanksgiving. We're not even having Thanksgiving dinner because that's how busy we're going to be.
Wow.
And that's normally my favorite thing to do is cook Thanksgiving. Like I don't miss it. Like I love
Uh-huh.
to eat Thanksgiving dinner and I'm having to skip that this year. So, that's when it's busy. What
Yep.
you got Thanksgiving plans? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're just staying home. We're staying in. We'll be here. My wife's cooking. We're gonna invite my mom, my brother over. We're just gonna have a small family dinner and just hang out, have some fun, crack some jokes, and just take it easy for the day. That's it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's
Hmm.
nice. It's the best when you get to spend it with those, the closest to you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Help everybody that's, that we don't talk to between now and then. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. If you're
for
going out,
sure.
if family's traveling or whatnot, please stay safe out there. And yeah, just, enjoy the time. Be thankful for those that you love and those that are closest to you. Um, let's get into this. So we're going to talk a little bit about Unrivaled. They did finally announce their teams. Ty and I selected our teams. And as we told you guys, we were going to select different teams so, that we could follow and go against each other throughout the Unrivaled season. So we did that. They announced two more coaches in the WNBA,
Hmm.
so we'll get into that. And yeah, talk a little bit about those coaches and whatnot. So let's get into it. Let's start with let's go Unrivaled. So they still have yet to announce the last two players. So we've been on an Unrivaled player watch and we don't know what's the holdup. Ty and I, just before we went live, we're just talking about it. Like, it's not because there's a lack of talent that they haven't,
Hmm.
Ty suggested maybe they're after specific, a couple specific players and waiting, to hear back or waiting, those players are, taking time to decide or whatnot. Or maybe those players already said no and they're trying to sweeten the deal for him and try to get him to say yes. Who knows what is going on? But it's definitely not due to a lack of talent. So the two teams, like we said, they announced teams, and the two teams that those two players will belong to once they're announced or whatnot are the Lunar Owls and the Phantom. So right now both those teams currently have 5 players and all the rest have 6. I have chose the Phantom as my team and Ty has chose the Mist. So let me share this so we can
Hmm.
see who are on our teams. And it's funny because I had selected, to myself, two teams. So I was waiting for Ty to tell me what team he was going to choose, and he took forever. So I'm just like, well, screw you. I'm just going to pick my team. And so the Phantom was my number one choice. The Mist was my number two choice in case when he picked his, he happened to choose the Phantom. I wanted to have a backup. And that is then the team he chose. So it's funny that
I chose the Mist.
It worked out that way.
Shows you we're friends. Right. We think alike. So we get along.
Let's add this here. Yep. All right. So let me see where we got. All right. Let's go the Mist first. So players of the Mist. We have Jewel Lloyd, Courtney Vandersloot, Dejanay Carrington, Rakia Jackson, Brianna Stewart, and Aaliyah Edwards. Quite a squad there. Quite a squad. It is. And then where we go? Where are we? Oh, here we go.
That's right. Yeah.
Let me get it together. All right. The Phantom, now, again, this is, we're missing the wild card, as they call it.
Yep.
The who knows. Oh, yeah. And then who was your coach? Who's the coach of the Mist? Do you remember?
What's his last
name?
I'll
go back and look. If not.
Handy or something. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, that is him. Okay.
Yeah,
so
Phil Handy.
For the Phantom, okay, yeah. We got Jackie Young. We got two aces on the Phantom. Jackie Young, did that, Tiffany Hayes, Marina Mabry, a future ace. So we really got three aces on the Phantom, guys. Satu Savali, Brittany Griner, and I swear, BG, if you stand under that hoop and you don't fucking rebound, so help me God.
She's yelling at BG already, y'all.
Yeah, because that's almost why I didn't select this team, was because of her. So let's take a look at the other teams while we're here real quick. So the Laces, not to be confused with the Aces, even though, you know, it has Plum Dog here. I was very upset that two Aces got put together and it had to be these two. Because I really wanted Kate Martin to be on my team, you know, but there was no way I was selecting this team. Let me just tell you. All right. So we got Kelsey Plum, Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, Kate Martin, Alyssa Thomas, and Big Mama Stephanie Dolson.
Mama Steph.
All right. The Rose team already has the most fans. You'll soon see why. Led by the ace, point guard, Chelsea Gray. We got, who is this?
Brittany Sykes, isn't it?
Brittany Sykes. We got Kalia Copper. We got Lexi Hall. And then we got Angel Reese, who's of course attracting, you know, so much fans. I see rosebuds everywhere already. It's crazy. And Azare Stevens to make up the Roses. And then the Lunar Owls are short a player as well.
Yep.
But they got Skylar Diggins Smith, Natasha Cloud, Alicia Graham, Nafisa Collier, and Shakira Austin. And then
the vinyl.
Last but not least, we got Enrique, Jordan Canada, Ryan Howard, Ray, Aaliyah Boston, and De'Erica Hamby.
Erica Hamby.
At first, when I looked down, it looked like Hamby was missing like half of her arm.
I know
was
the
cut off
arm.
right
Yeah,
here.
it's weird the way they did it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Yeah. Especially compared to this one, like this big
Uh-huh.
ass arm right here
Yep.
next to her. And Witherspoon, Teaspoon, she's the coach of the Vinyl.
Yep.
That's her squad there. So, how you feeling? How you feeling about how those teams look shook up there?
I thought it was good. Good genetic makeup of all all the squads. They got each team kind of like has perimeter shooting. They got the defenders. They got a big in there that could get down low and do things. All kind of equal, all versatile. Some teams are kind of younger than others. Like, it just makes for a good mix. And that's what I was wanting to see, right? I didn't want every team to be like, Stewie and Fee on one team with like Chelsea Gray is like, oh, they just put together their own super team. No, they mixed it up. Everybody's all meshed in together, but they all built their own individual squads. So I think it's going to be fun to watch. I love what they're just doing overall with this league. Some of the announcements and stuff have been slow, but that's just because I think me as a fan, I just want to know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, give me info, but I love what they're doing. They seem to be doing everything right. And I think it's going to be fun. And I can't wait to see these teams get on the court. And I can't wait to see, like, you got all these aces on there, but they're not all playing together. So it's going to be fun to see them going against each other now and things like that. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm still excited to see like how's the game gonna be, like it's 3v3, right? But
it's
they
3v3
keep
full
saying
court.
it's not gonna be like the Olympic 3v3. It's not gonna be like, like they've heard the outcries of how fans like they usually don't like to watch the Olympic 3v3, like they don't like that half court, like it's just like boring ass, like it's so boring to watch, honestly, like it's just back and forth. Like one grabs the ball, shoots, you miss. Okay, then it's like seems like a game of pickup that you would play with your friends, like out in the backyard.
Basically what it is. Yeah.
And that's like the last thing I would want to see, right? So hopefully this is going to be a lot more exciting. 6 players on the team, a lot more switching in and out.
Exactly.
And like you said, the teams are really mixed up. And that's what I was concerned. Like, like I don't want to see, even though obviously for fans, it'd be nice to have one powerhouse team you could be a fan of. Oh, okay, we're going to win the whole thing. But like it makes for boring basketball and a boring sport overall, right? So
if you know who's going to win automatically.
So it's nice that you have, like stars separated and rookies, mixed in. And like I just like the way that they've done it. But I'm still interested, especially since it's my team that needs one of these players. Who these last 2 players are going to
be?
Yeah,
who
like
can it be now?
Crazy. Like I think I still think one has to be a rookie. Like, well, a rookie, it's going to be second year player now, but the rookie this past season, but I don't know.
Yeah. It could be. You never know. That's the thing. They've been able to get such a eclectic mix of players with like from rookies to a longtime vet like Alyssa Thomas, excuse me. You just never know who's it going to be. So like sky's wide open. Like, like I'm just excited to see who these last 2 players are. Like, oh man. They did such a good job. I think they're holding them out on purpose, though. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
But
yeah, tipping off, just as a reminder, tipping off in Miami starting January. So there's not much time. And it's going to be, so season begins January 17th, and it's going to be on TNT. So for those that have cable or whatnot, that's where you'll be able to watch it, is TNT. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Kelsey Plum, not to take anything away from her, because she's like living her best life in Vegas right now. Let me just tell you
Oh,
guys, like,
she is.
she has her name on the sides of casinos on the strip. She's like, her cigar,
Mm-hmm.
like her, like, who would have ever thought, and she probably would have never guessed in a million years, that during that first championship parade, so many times during celebrations of all sports, the athlete smokes a freaking cigar. Like,
I know.
that's such a popular freaking thing. And it just took on,
Yeah,
like this by storm, this huge fucking thing for her. Launched her own cigar brand, all because of
I
her
know.
smoking this cigar at the Aces
Yep.
Championship parade. And she looked so hot doing it. And they,
Mm-hmm.
like, it just, her picture spread everywhere. Like, you could not, that season, during, like, after that parade, you could not look anywhere that had to do with women's basketball,
Wow.
I swear, and not see
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey with smoking that freaking cigar.
Yeah.
And now it's like such a huge thing. And of all
It's a
places,
brand. Yeah.
yeah, for like it to be in Las Vegas, like, obviously with the nightclub scene, cigar
Mm-hmm.
smoking, a big thing, like, just a perfect place, perfect opportunity. And as much, you guys know, I give her shit, and it's more of a turned into a big joke thing now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
um like, so much respect, and just shouts out to her, because she's doing the damn thing,
Yeah.
like we talk about so often, that these girls, they have to, during the off season, go play basketball overseas and go
Mm-hmm.
do all this other stuff, because the WNBA, they don't make enough money, right?
Yep.
So when they get these opportunities for brands and for businesses and for other just all other opportunities for them to
Mm-hmm.
make means, and for her now, she doesn't have to go play basketball and do all this other shit during the off season, like, she plays Unrivaled now, and she plays WNBA, and she has all her other stuff that's coming to fruition, and she's set. Like, she don't have to go
Mm-hmm.
play in China, she don't have to go play, like, that's what these girls need, that's what they want, like, that's the entire thing, like, and all because she smoked a fucking cigar while
I know.
celebrating at
Yeah.
a parade,
Yeah.
like, crazy, crazy. So shout out to her.
Big time. And I saw this weekend, they had the big launch, and she had her initials up on the building, her little
Yeah.
initial logo up on the building, and she was so excited and so happy. And you just got to feel happy for her, that she's doing her thing, and it's actually blowing up and becoming a thing. So it's just awesome to see. It's awesome to see these women capitalize and get into their business and make these things happen for themselves. It's beautiful. um these are the stories that should be permeated out. Like,
Yeah.
national media, talk about this stuff, talk about this positivity and what they're doing. That's what people need to see, so they can connect with it, and it'll be like, oh, I need to gravitate toward this player, maybe, and then maybe I need to check out a game, and it just helps the league grow. But shouts out to her, because she's doing her thing, and I'm happy that she's doing it her way, right? Because when she first came into the league, the league wanted to just kind of market her and capitalize on her and exploit her, because she's a straight white woman, and she was not happy with that. She's been vocal about it. She blocked the league on Twitter, didn't even follow them. I don't even know if she still has them blocked. Like, I know up until like 2 seasons ago, she had them blocked. But to see her, just doing her business her way and
Yeah.
doing things her way, it's I'm very, very happy for her.
I mean, I'm pulling up the picture right now, so those that don't know.
Yeah, there it is.
So there's Resort World in Las Vegas, and then you see with the KP on the side of the building.
Yep.
So very awesome, very awesome. And she wrote on there, my cigar now sold in lounges. If you would have told me that a couple years ago when I smoked my first cigar in the same lounge, I would have laughed. Your life can look a lot different in a short time in the best way. Won't he do it? So yeah, shout out to Kelsey Plum. I saw too, like I love that, like this off season, the Aces, you know, even though they didn't win, obviously their faces are still everywhere. And normally Asia is like hiding the entire off season because her love life, everything is so quiet, like was such a secret, you know. And now that it's not hidden anymore, we're actually getting to see like her face places that we normally wouldn't. And so Bam, I don't know what, I don't know if you know that, like he launched his, I guess, own like a liquor.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, they were at the launch or whatnot of it, something to do with it. And you know, she's there right by his side, and like normally you would have never seen, like she would have probably been there freaking hiding in the other room during the pictures, you know, like it was so crazy. Like I don't know how they even, like how you live your life like that. Like I don't know. Especially when like you're two people that are used to everything, like people following them, taking pictures, like their life is so out there, you know, like everybody trying to be in their life, and they're trying to live a secret relationship, like crazy. Like I don't know how you even make that work, but they somehow they got away with it for a while, and then they thought they were getting away with it for a while longer, and you guys know they weren't. So now it's just nice to see them be able to live, you know, just like have their love out there for the world to see, you know, like it doesn't have to be a freaking secret. And so like, and you want, like, you're supposed to have your wife, your girl, your man, whatever, next to your side, right? So like let it be out there, let it be free for the world to see.
Exactly.
So now we're getting to see it, so I love it. I hope they continue to, you know, have a loving, wonderful relationship for many, many more years, because like especially like famous people and athletes, like to see two athletes together, like two basketball stars, like and one's not like a star and the other one's just like a chump in their sport, like they're both stars in their own respective league, you know.
Big
and
time.
for them to be together, it's just like, you know, like like I can't, like I just want, like I want to have them to have kids, and for those kids to grow up and play basketball, you know. Like I'm already planning out their whole freaking life, so don't be letting us down, Asia and Bam. You three letters.
Yeah.
You 3-letter people. Don't be letting the world down, okay? All right, let's go on to the updates on the WNBA coaching. So, since we last spoke about it, 2 more spots have been filled. So 5 out of 8 now filled. So currently, LA Sparks filled theirs with Lynn Roberts. And both of these, you know, it's funny because when we first had our show and first found out like all these coaches, right, were gone like crazy, 8 freaking jobs openings, right? Wow. And we had talked about, and I had asked you where you thought these teams were going to get the coaches, you know, were they going to be assistant coaches? Were they going to be, you know, where were these people coming from? And so 2 of the positions we saw filled up with both Aces assistant coaches. The other one came from a coach that was let go from one spot, moved on to the next spot, in Stephanie White. And then these 2 that just filled up in the Sparks and Atlanta Dream, both coaches come from the NCAA.
College.
So the talent is getting spread, coming all around. So this one we got Lynn Roberts, she comes from the University of Utah, the Utah Utes.
Utah
I don't
Utes.
know.
Yep.
Utes.
The two
Utah.
Utes. Yeah.
So she, Utes. That's a funny name, Utes. So a little bit about her. She had been at university, so she started coaching there in 2015 in Utah. So she's been there a while now. She entering her 10th season, the 2024-2025 season. So this is her third consecutive NCAA tournament appearance in her time at Utah. She's during her time there, she was dubbed Pac-12 Coach of the Year. She led the Utes to their second NCAA tournament since 2011 and third NCAA Sweet 16 appearance in school history. Mm-hmm. So she's been doing a lot of good things for that school. It says while coaching there, she holds a 162 and 115 record. So a lot of games, a lot of freaking games they played. Holy shit. And it's crazy because on April 19th, 2022. So no, she had signed a contract, but they had signed her through 2027.
Yeah.
And obviously she didn't make it that long, right? So yeah, she obviously coach of the year. She got like a whole bunch of different accolades, like tons of stuff. So, hopefully moving into the WNBA, she can continue to do great things, taking over for the LA Sparks. I mean, I don't think she can do much worse than what they were last season, sitting at 8-32. 8-32. Okay.
Nowhere to go but up.
And she has the second pick in the draft. They had a lot of talent, so that's a good thing that at least Kurt Miller did. Is that they had a good draft, last season. So so she's taking over a talented squad. We've talked about, that being one of the best job openings that there were. So shout out to Lynn Roberts. And obviously we've talked about too, about wanting to see more women getting coaching opportunities in a women's league, so it's good to see them giving Lynn Roberts the opportunity. Your thoughts on LA Sparks hiring Lynn Roberts?
Yeah, I think that's a good hire. I know a little bit about her just from them making the tournament the past couple of years, and they had a great run last year to the Sweet 16 and played well. And from everything I've seen and heard, she's a really good coach. So to her to come in with this young team, these young players, I think she'll get them on the right track. And, with whoever they draft, Paige, they should be definitely a much better team next season. So I'm excited for her. Congrats to her. And I think it was a good hire.
I would be so surprised if Paige fell to number 2, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Atlanta Dream. Mm-hmm. They hired Carl Smesco. He comes from Florida Gulf Coast. It's crazy when looking up, the info about him. So he's in his 23rd season coaching there, right? Mm-hmm. The first and only head coach that they've ever freaking had.
Ever. I know that blew me away too when I looked him up because I didn't know who he was, and I'm like, ever?
Yeah, wow. Holy shit. So it said the Atlanta Dream managed to do what many other teams have tried over the years. They lured Carl Smesco away from Florida Gulf Coast. Smesco was announced Wednesday, as the head coach. So it says he built that program over there. Mm-hmm. obviously being the only head coach, right? Went 611 and 112. So he won 611 games and they only lost 112.
Crazy
And
win percentage.
a
Yeah.
.845 win percentage.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Unreal.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so it says the other teams have been trying to get him out to come out of college into the W for years.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlanta Dream was able to
Atlanta
do
got
it.
him.
I don't know how, what,
I know,
where,
right?
when, why.
They got some pictures on them or something. Like, yeah,
Yeah, like,
exactly. Of all teams, yeah.
Crazy. So your thoughts on Carl going to Atlanta Dream?
Yeah. So first, full disclosure, I knew nothing about him. I didn't hear anything. I never heard his name before. I didn't even know who he was until I did the same thing. When he got hired, I'm like, who's this dude? Right? Looked him up, read everything you just read, and I'm like, wow. Okay, so clearly he's qualified for the job. You know, like he has coaching credit. He has years in the game. And apparently teams have been wanting him for years. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm with that. All right. And but then it made me scratch my head. Like, okay, Atlanta's not like the biggest market team in the league.
Yeah.
Right? They're like one of the smaller teams. They play in a small arena. That arena be rocking though. The fans love the Dream. But it's like how they lure him. I don't know. Maybe Renee Montgomery went down there and spoke to him personally, and she got swag. So you never know. But they lured him in. So I'm like, okay, if the dude could win at an 84% clip, maybe that's what they're looking for, right? Somebody to come in and bring a winning culture to Atlanta. And they got a bunch of young, good players. So hopefully he does the job, right? So, you know, looking at it, surface value just on paper, I think is a good hire. You want a coach with experience who knows how to build a program and make it successful. And that's what he's done his entire career.
Yeah, I'm very, very interested to see how this works out.
Oh, yeah.
Because, man, for a team, like, I don't care if you're at the entry level, like the lowest, shittiest teams in college or high school or pros, like for you to coach somewhere that many freaking years and win at that high of a rate, like,
yep.
I don't care if you're coaching Pee Wee, fucking.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if that can carry on to the W.
More power to him.
Yeah. Like,
whew. Yeah. Only makes the league better. So that's what it's all about.
Yep. Exactly. And then the other three teams that are still looking to hire their head coaches. So we got Connecticut. A little update from what Suns president Jen Rizzotti had to say. She says, I ideally would love to find someone who's committed to Connecticut. Now, remember, this is where Stephanie White came from.
Yep.
She was there 2 years, right? 2 winning years. 2 years they went to the playoffs. Just went to a very deep run into the playoffs. Okay. Now she went on to the Fever. Now, this is what the president of the Sun has to say. I ideally would love to find someone who's committed to Connecticut, the organization, the in-season, the off-season commitment. 12 months out of the year. We haven't had that. We probably haven't always needed that, but going forward, it's probably something that's going to be really important for a lot of franchises. Rizzotti also pointed out the Sun have been a stable organization in recent years. I think a lot of coaches are looking for a sense of security, right? And a sense of overall support. And you can't deny that the Connecticut Sun organization over the last 2 decades have been very strong and secure. There's not been a lot of turmoil. End quote. So, I don't know. And that means Stephanie White wasn't committed.
I think when she bounced, they felt like betrayed, like, oh man, really? Really? Because I think they hired her to be there long term, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're going to be here long term. This is it. We're going to win a championship. And then after 2 seasons, she's like, hey, I got to bounce. Deuces. And it's like, oh, punch in the stomach, right? So it was like, oh, now we got to start from scratch. So I think that's why they're taking their time to really flesh this thing out and find the right person. Because, you know, Connecticut is not a scrub team. They're not a scrub, you know, organization. They've been, hell, they were in the finals 3 years ago against the Aces, right? Like, this is not a losing team. So they want a coach that's going to be here and maintain that winning culture.
Yeah. Yep. And then you have the Washington Mystics. They're looking for a head coach and a GM still. So who knows what the heck's going on there. They might be still till next year at this time looking. Who knows?
Exactly. Melly, we're rooting for you though, Melly. We're rooting for your team. Find something. Find somebody.
And they had a father and son as GM and head coach. So hopefully they go a whole completely different route.
Yeah, exactly.
Than that kind of situation.
Separate the two. Exactly.
And then you have the Dallas Wings. So they're still looking for the head coach. They did hire Kurt Miller, the head coach, the ex-head coach from the Sparks, as their GM now, which I had mentioned how Kurt Miller did great in the Sparks draft, right? So if he can now carry that on to Dallas, that'll be great for them. Kurt Miller had to say this. So they have the number 1 draft pick, right? So Kurt says, for someone like myself who's just started the head coaching search, what an opportunity to be out talking to head coaching candidates to take over the Dallas Wings coaching job, knowing that we have the upcoming number 1 pick. So they said Miller hopes that having that number 1 pick will help be able to sway them, you know, a top coaching candidate over obviously the other 2 places. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
And then obviously just an update as well, from the Valkyries. Their expansion draft is December 6th, so it's coming up. I'm kind of nervous. Like, when do the teams announce like who they're coring? Like,
I'm thinking next week. I mean, it's got to be next week, right? Because we're in
do
December.
They announce it before, or we don't find out till that day, or
Sunday is December 1st, so it's got to be announced next week because the draft is that following Saturday. So I think it'll be announced. We'll know. Hopefully they do it like on Sunday, and we can talk about it on next Monday, and we can know who the protectees are, and maybe we can start to project a little bit. So yeah, I think we're all waiting to see who gets protected, who's unprotected, and who might move. It's going to be fun to see. But yeah, the time is now to announce it, because, you know,
December 6th. So that's not this coming Friday, but the Friday after. So yeah, hopefully.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, though, are they going to announce it prior? Or do they announce it that day of the draft? Or do they announce whether your players got swiped or not? And if not, they're like, oh, well, yours attempted to get swiped, but that person was protected. Like, how do they do it? Like,
Yeah, I would think you would they need to announce it first so that the Valkyrie know, like Natalie needs to know the pool of players she can pick from,
Yeah.
right? Like give her time to analyze the player pool and say, okay, I'm going to grab, this person from Connecticut, that person from New York. This I got to get my aces player, right?
Well,
Some
I'm sure she'll
strategy.
know. Like they gotta
Yeah.
know ahead of time, but
Yeah, but
before the
oh yeah,
public, probably.
okay, they'll right. You're absolutely right. They'll let the team know before we know for sure. So, but it would be fun to like let the public in on this, so we can participate as well.
Because you guys know, so when Ty and I talked about what players the Aces were going to protect before,
Mm-hmm.
Ty has Kelsey Plum being protected. I do not have Kelsey Plum being protected. Now, previously, that might have not even fucking mattered because the head coach from, like, say they hired Jim Shula from, West Connecticut. Well, he could give a shit less about a Kelsey Plum, right?
Right.
But now that the Valkyries hired somebody from the Aces, they might be more interested in the specific Aces players.
Yep.
Okay. So it's going to be very, very, very important. Key.
Yep.
Who the Aces. And the Aces currently don't even have a fucking GM. So
Yeah. Look at that. So hey, like who's running the show? Is it Becky? Is it someone else? What's going on?
I don't know.
But you're right. That's key. Like Natalie might want a veteran in there that can run her system and kind of lead the way. So she might be looking at a Kelsey Plum. Check that out.
And let's say the Aces do protect, their, whoever. And now, like we've talked about an Alicia Clark, how I would hate to lose her, right? But as a aging player, obviously the Aces need to make changes to the roster. We've talked about this.
Yep.
And I also talked about how important and how smart of a move that would make for the Valkyries to get an Alicia Clark in there for a young team that's just starting, because that's her thing. She's
absolutely
all, that's her thing. So again, having a head coach in there that comes from the Aces, somebody might have looked past an Alicia Clark before. Yep. I can guarantee you, a Natalie ain't gonna look past an Alicia Clark.
Nope.
So
nope.
I don't know.
Yeah. They need to let us in on it. Like announce something this week, please.
Yeah. And man, like I would hate not just for the Aces to lose in Alicia Clark, but I would hate for Las Vegas to lose Alicia Clark. I would hate for the kids in Las Vegas to lose Alicia Clark, because still to this minute, she's in these streets of Las Vegas doing stuff for these kids that other athletes are not fucking doing.
Incredible.
They're not. They're not. Somebody that she knows that she could not be here this next coming up season.
Yeah. But she's still out there.
That she's starting a new league in December in her own state. And, like all this other stuff going on. Yet she's in the street. She's here in Las Vegas doing stuff for this community, for my community. And that's why I continue to scream this to the fucking rooftops. Y'all can never fucking make me hate Alicia Clark. I don't give a shit. You guys can bring up, oh, she's supporting this, she's supporting that, she does this, she does that. Well, guess what? She's also supporting my people.
Yep.
So it's definitely appreciated. And, as much as I would hate for Las Vegas to lose that, I would also love for another team, another community, another, the women the girls growing up in Golden State to have that opportunity of having Alicia Clark as well. So guess it can be selfish, but
Nope.
What's up, Daniel Berry? What's up, Rob?
What's going on?
Shit talking Tuesday.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one tomorrow.
A lot of shit to talk because our entire team shits. That's why. So lots to talk. Anything else you want to talk about, Ty, before we get out of here?
Yeah, just real quick. We had 2 great NCAA games this weekend. Notre Dame played USC and featured, 2 players who we talked about that could be top picks in this upcoming draft coming up with Olivia Miles from Notre Dame and Kiki Irfan from USC. It was a great game. I talked about how don't be surprised if Olivia Miles goes number 1, and she had a great game. You're talking 20 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, and just controlled the game, looked so smooth. The stage was not too big for her, even though it's celebs in the house. She's on the road at, SC, and she looked the part. She was just dope. And, Kiki had a good game, 15 points, and and then I was thinking about it, and I was like, Dallas needs a big wing too, because Satu's, according to Mariah, Satu's going to the Aces.
Yep, she'll be in Vegas.
So they're going to need to replace her, right? So, hey, Kiki could go number 1. You never know. You never know, folks.
That'd be crazy, though.
That would be crazy.
On page number 1.
Yeah, everyone's in love with Paige, but I'm telling you, when you look at team needs and these players, and they're special. There's a lot. Paige isn't the only special one. There's others. You just never know. But the other game was South Carolina and UCLA, and man, UCLA came to play. They pulled the quote unquote upset because South Carolina is number 1, and it was a big blowout, and shows that UCLA is legit. So it was a great just basketball weekend just for those 2 games alone. So yeah, if you want to check out the college game, don't wait for the tournament. Get into some of this regular season action because it's going down, and you see some great future players.
It's going down. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. I think that's all.
That's it. That's it.
Unrivaled. Get your shit together. We need to know
That's
who
right.
these last 2 players are.
Right. And WNBA, give us those protectees. We want to know.
Shit.
We want to know who the Valkyrie can pick from.
Yeah. Because I'm nervous.
Needs to know if she's losing Kelsey Plum. She wants to know now.
And especially too, like these players that are like coming up for contracts, so they could in any regular season be up to go wherever the hell they want. But right now, these teams that they were assigned to could still protect them and do some crazy shit. So it's like so much stuff could be happening, so it's like like does Dallas core Satu, do they like what?
Right.
Or do they just let her walk free? Do they what happens to Alyssa Thomas and her significant other? Like
honor, right?
Like there's players, so like Kelsey Plum, she's not under contract. Like what do they do with her, So it's like I don't know. And it's then what if like still we don't know if Tiff Hayes, she hasn't official announcement
if she's gonna come back next season. Like we know she's playing in Unrivaled, but
Like, does
That
it
could be
does
it
it
for
make a
her,
difference?
right?
Like, do the
Yeah.
Aces core her, or
Right.
what if the Valkyries then take her away and then she's like, oh well, never mind, I don't want to play there, like,
Yeah.
so I'm retiring, or like, does the decision matter on her future? Like, who
Mhm.
knows, like, what happens?
Yeah.
So, like, so many different parts, what could happen. But December 6th will be here before we know it.
Yep.
But yeah, hopefully by next Monday, we'll know some more
For sure.
some more details about everything. And too, like, these teams that, like, the Mystics, they don't have a head coach or a GM, so who's deciding who they're coring and who they
Yeah.
like
who who's
the
in
friggin'
charge
owner?
around here, right?
Like, they don't even know anything. They're just money people.
The owner's
It's
just
like,
picking names out of a hat. Ooh, I like this
oh
one.
my
Like,
god, that's scary.
yeah, very.
At
Oh my
least,
gosh.
the Wings, they have Kurt Miller.
Right. Someone who
Connecticut,
can make a decision, right? Yeah.
yeah, like, oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, we'll see. And two, oh no, I was gonna, never mind. I was thinking we were gonna have another coach, but taken away from the Aces. But no, sorry, Tyler, you don't get no secret special draft for you, buddy. You're not getting shit over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
don't try it. All right. Me and Ty will be back tomorrow.
Yep.
Shit Talking Tuesday. Talk about this shitty 49ers. Man. But you guys know the secret. So I went into this game, right? If you had watched mine and Steph's show on Thursday, you know we both had predicted for the 49ers to lose. So I went into the game already not expecting that we were going to win. So when we go in and then play like shit and get our ass kicked, it just didn't hurt as bad because I was already expecting it. So
you went in with low expectations.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I'm just going to do that from now on, I think.
There you go.
Every week, just go in thinking we're going to play like shit. That way, if we play like shit, then, well, and then if we play great, well, then I'm even more happy because then it's unexpected. You gotta, that's when you know your team's down bad, when you're having to trick your own mind. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, chat, appreciate you all, everybody that tunes in, appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Everybody have a safe, wonderful rest of your night. Until then, we're out of here. Peace.
See ya.